Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the EDM Grid podcast. My name is Henry, also known as Hank Ray. Sadly, Oswald is not here because his laptop is broken. It's not working. And in all honesty, I feel like this episode is the one where we probably needed him the most, because the amount of Britishisms that are gonna happen during the course of this episode is insane. We have got on a vocalist who has worked on many songs before, insanely talented. We'll get on to that later. Hailing from the UK, Miss Lina, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing wonderful. How are you, Henry?
I'm very good. I'm just thinking about how, like, the accent, it's going to be too much. Like, because we're both hailing British. From down... Exactly, we both hail from down south, so it's sort of like... You know, we have very thick accents and very posh accents, so, you know, sometimes...
Definitely.
But you've moved up north, so you've betrayed us.
I know, I am the traitor. I'm so sorry to all my southern friends.
Yeah. I think you're the first, like, southern UK person I've had on the podcast, because... I've had some people that have come from up north. Like, I've had one Scott, Martin, Full Flex Audio, go check it out. Spitfire, who is definitely up north. You're the first southern UK person, and I sort of don't know how to feel about that, because you know, fighting for the space here.
We need to bring a bit of southern back. So no, I'm happy to represent the south.
Oh, definitely. How is it like though up north? Because you recently have also come back to the south in the Exobolt vlog, which you sort of aren't shown in, but you were there. So Exobolt as well is something we'll definitely talk about later. But it's a great label. Yeah. But I'm like, how is it up in the north?
Very rainy. It was recently very foggy. Foggy to the point where me and Johnny went for a drive and we couldn't see anything because it was so foggy. But no, it's not different. I mean, I saw some snow a few weeks ago, which is pretty much non-existent down south.
It never happens here.
Yeah, no, never. But that was fun. Because I work from home, I don't ever have to go out in the snow or out much. So, you know, I'm happy with that. But no, it's nice. Weirdly enough, people are friendlier up north.
That's something that I have heard. I have heard that, you know, that people from the north often go, oh, but the northerners are more friendly than the people in the south. And
they are.
To be fair, you've had like both sides of the argument. You've seen the both like sides of the coin, so you could probably give a more sort of balanced argument compared to me, who I just say the south is better because I've never been up north.
I do prefer the south just because I've lived there almost my entire life. I've only lived up here for about a month and a bit. But I've when I went to visit John, I frequently came up here anyway, so I got used to it. But it's so weird going for a walk. I went for a walk yesterday and I had a few couples go, oh, hello. And I'm like, oh, hi. Because I don't...
You're not
I'm like,
used
do
to
they
that.
know me? No. Like, do they know me? No, they don't. I know. But no, I do like it up here. It's very different.
Is it any more cold than it is? You're going back down? Oh. What are you going back down for then? Because it's like you sort of moved up there and then you're going, oh yeah, I'm coming back soon. I'm like, what?
Oh, not to live. I'm coming back down for Mother's Day. Just making sure I can actually see my parents. So I'm coming back down for Mother's Day.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not moving. Don't worry.
Okay. But like, is it any more cold? Because there's one thing, and that is that it is very cold right now.
Yeah, I think the degrees fluctuate between like I can't. It's colder up here, like a couple of degrees colder always. But I don't notice it very much. It's just cold. It's just winter.
According to Google weather app, it is between 5 and 7 degrees today, so it'll probably be between sort of 4 and 6 for you today, I'd imagine.
Yeah, roughly, I think.
Yeah, it's just a bit lower in the north than it is, but not as rainy because it rains a lot in both sides of the country.
Yeah, equal rain. Yeah.
Anyway, enough about us being complete Brits. We should probably get on to talking about music.
Sure.
I was thinking about this before the episode started. Obviously, you've collabed with a lot of like songs and a lot of artists, and you've been featured on a lot of songs. What is some of the favorites that you have featured on? What are some of the favorite songs that you have your vocals on?
Oh gosh, I have quite a few that I've really enjoyed. It comes down to the background as well. So I would say my favourite would be when I did Rift with Rob Gasser. When I work with Rob, I have a lot of say in lyrics, melodies, which I do appreciate. I love having the creative freedom. So I really enjoyed working with Rob. They're amazing to work with, an amazing friend. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. A bit more of a niche one. I did a song with a producer called Snapsky, which is called Keep Grinding. It's a smaller song, and I had full say in lyrics and melodies. And Snapsky, we collaborated quite a bit on those, which was quite nice. And I love that. And we had some art done, which was wonderful. A lot of the Exobolt tracks I've done in the past, I've really enjoyed. Working with Rakoa on 005 was wonderful because I got to sing in half Korean, which was amazing. I really enjoyed doing that. But there's just too many, which is really crazy to think. I've worked on so many songs. But yeah, I work on almost all the songs I work on. I really enjoy getting to know the person and doing the song. So I can't really, even though I've picked a favourite, I can't truly pick a favourite because I love them all. They're all wonderful.
Is there any songs which you've sort of stylistically preferred to some of the others? Because you've also worked with a lot of artists that have very unique sounds to them and sort of the styles that they go for. So are there any songs which you sort of really like the style of, which you've gone, oh, I really like how the end product turned out for that?
Yeah, I would say when I work on drum and bass songs, I really enjoy doing those. I like when the producer has a certain type of vision, and they're like, oh, I envision this song to be sung softer. I'm like, oh, okay, that's really interesting to me, because usually I'll work with a producer and they're like, oh, do it how you want, and I'm like, okay, I'll try and see what I can do. But if I'm led in a right direction, I love having the creative freedom, but if I'm led in the right direction, like working with Modus, 100%, Modus is so particular about tones and how lyrics should be sung, and softness and how powerful they should be. Modus is such a good example of me being led in a direction that I wouldn't have thought of. So I really enjoy the experimental things, but I love it. I love good old drum and bass, honestly.
Modus is just insane as well. Like he does like streams and stuff, which I sometimes watch, and even talking to him on the podcast as well. Like you can hear it in the music that he makes. He's so like
passionate,
finicky on all the specific details, and like,
oh yeah,
the way that it all sounds and all comes together. I really love his style, especially his Snowblind remix. I really love that because it's so different, but all the things come together in different ways to make a really epic track. Oh
yeah,
it's
100%.
Really cool.
Yeah, Modus is so. I think he's one of the producers that has, throughout his whole career, has stuck to his style and developed it without straying off into the popular genres that everyone's making nowadays. He's stuck to his guns, and it's really paid off because he has taken his sound and developed it, and it's become such a big thing. And I really enjoy I worked with Modus a number of times, and I really enjoy taking a break from the full creative freedom and having to be guided. And the last couple of tracks that we've done together, I have been pushed to notes I've never been able to hit in my life, and I'm so grateful for that. So I'm really grateful for a lot of people, including Modus, that have helped me come out of my shell a bit more, because I can comfortably sing in my range, but if you're telling me to hit like a high D and I can't do it, I really want to do it, so I'll be kind of forced to learn how to hit that comfortably, and it pays off. It works really well, so I really enjoy that.
Some producers are gonna get you to hit notes like door squeaking just to try and
stop
get a track. Just like, oh yeah, you need to hit this really high note, and at the start you're just like, I can't do that, and then eventually you're able to hit kettle boiling. So you know.
Yeah, the sound that only dogs can hear.
Exactly. Is there any producers which you perhaps would want to work with, or sort of have been looking at and their style and gone, I would really like to feature on a song with you?
Oh gosh, absolutely. There's so many. Off the top of my head, I would love, just within my friendship group, I would love to work with Disdain. I've been meaning to work with Disdain for so long, and eventually we will make something. Eventually we will. But Aaron Disdain, his music is so... when he puts his head down and really goes for it with every song he's ever done, he produces the most insanely detailed and amazing music you've ever heard. Like the tracks that he releases on Exobolt, stunning, wonderful. It's the same with Mar6. I would love to work with Mar6 for the same reason, because he can produce some of the amazing music that I love to listen to in my downtime. Weirdly enough, a lot of artists I've wanted to work with, I've worked with. Eccentric, Rob Gasser even, Modus back in the day and onwards, being able to work with Phantom Sage back in the day, obviously knows moved on. Was an amazing thing. Michael White, oh my gosh, that was fantastic. When I worked on Modular with Michael White and Rob Gasser. I would love to work with AE5. My goodness, stunning music. Glacier, absolutely. 100% would love to work with Glacier. I've always wanted to work with Scythe. I love Skype's music.
So you're just naming honestly, all the people that have been on my podcast at this point. Like,
pretty much, I am on it. Oh my goodness, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about who I would love to work with, and a lot of these producers are just like, they've been on your podcast, and I'm like, I'd love to work with these people. Because they're just stunning group of artists that just create some amazing music that I would never even thought of. I don't produce music. I don't think I will. I really appreciate everyone and their musical talents. I could never, but I do have a love for all these artists that are within the scene, and how they do things. And I would love to be able to lend my voice to that. I've had when I started Miss Lina, I did a lot of top lines for artists, and being able to move from doing top lines to working with artists was amazing. So really like that.
Are there any completely like out there ones which you sort of you go to yourself and go, that would never happen, but I'd just love to work with them?
Oh gosh, I would say I love an artist called Waterflame. I don't know if you've heard of Waterflame.
No, I have.
They do
a lot of Geometry Dash stuff as well.
Yeah, I love Waterflame. F777. We are friends, me and Jessie, and I've spoken to Waterflame. Early days, I did speak to Waterflame because I'd wanted to sing one of their tracks that I loved that had a lot of samples, and I was like, I want to sing that. I never got around to it, which I really regret. And there is another producer that is very big that I like, called Say Maxwell, which did a lot of FNAF remixes and a lot of originals, which I love as well. Apart from that, I can't think of off the top of my head, if I'm honest. But I also really enjoy Glitchcat. Hopefully we get to work together one day. I recently came into contact with Glitchcat and I really like them. They're wonderful. Their music, they do a lot of complextro, which I'm like, please bring complextro back. It's my favourite genre of EDM ever.
It's
bring it back.
A good genre. Like
Yeah, I know.
early 2016, Complex Joe.
Like Virtual Riot, like, oh my god. Oh
Energy
yeah, Virtual
drink.
Riot's another one. I would love to work with Virtual Riot. That would be fantastic. Yeah.
Well, from other people now to yourself, I feel like it's time that we start talking about your own artistry and your singing, which that is what you are an artist for. Was it always your goal to sort of be an artist, or how did you start singing, or like what caused you to want to start singing?
So I always loved singing. In college, a million years ago when I was in college, we did opera as a part of my A-levels. For anyone listening that's not British, A-levels like college, just college level. I did opera and I loved it. I loved opera. I love classical music. Messiaen, Haydn, big fan. And I also loved, we did musicals as well. I did ABBA back in the day, which was really fun. And I really enjoyed doing that. And I'm thinking, oh, I really love singing. I was also a big weeb. I loved anime back in the day during my school days. Back when no one liked it, like 10 years ago when no one...
Anime is insane. Like,
I know, everyone likes it now.
You've gone from you're a nerd if you like anime to you're a nerd if you don't like anime, and it's one
Exactly.
of the biggest. It's one of the did a full 180 crazy. Like that is the biggest turnaround I think I've seen in anything.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I loved it, and I was not afraid for people knowing that I loved it. Was it very smart of me? Probably not, but it's fine. And I really enjoyed it, and I loved the openings to anime series, and I always would sing them, and I would just, I never understood what they were singing, and I loved the how phonetic everything sounded and how snappy all the lyrics were, and I really enjoyed it. So I would, back then, I wouldn't even Google the lyrics because I wouldn't understand. So I would listen and I would write down what I heard and learn it that way. And I did that for so long. And I was like, I want to record this. I kept seeing coverists because I had no interest in EDM back then. This was 2014. And I really enjoyed people covering English versions of anime openings like Jubiphonic, Amelie. I loved that and I wanted to do that. So I did a cover of a game from I did a cover of a song from a game called it was like an Ace Attorney game. It was like Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
My favorite game series of all time is Ace Attorney. So that is complete new knowledge from you.
I love it.
It's so that is just more things for us to geek about. Why?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god. Okay.
So good. It's hidden. The cover is hidden. You will never find it. It's like I'm never showing anyone. It's awful, but I loved it. And I was really into K-pop back then as well. Again, when no one was into it. So I really listened to a lot of that and I sung it and I got into that. And that was until 2016, which is when Miss Lina. So literally this year is my 10th anniversary of Miss Lina. And I had a boyfriend at the time who loved EDM and I had no interest in it. Gonna be honest, I had no interest in EDM from 2016 backwards. No interest at all. And I remember that my boyfriend at the time really liked Panda Eyes, so I was like, do you know what, I love songwriting. I was dabbling in that alongside it because I wanted to write English songs for anime openings. So I wrote a top line for Panda Eyes is Artificial and I posted it as a present to him. I think it was for his birthday, I can't remember. And he loved it and it got a bit of traction because I'd only just really made a SoundCloud as well. I just posted it because everyone used SoundCloud like a lot. I don't use it much anymore. And Panda Eyes commented on it, which was amazing. And I just thought, I really like doing this. People like this as well. I'm going to continue doing this. Back then, I also went by Lina. I didn't go by Miss Lina. So my boyfriend at the time was like, if you want to stand out, if you really want to do this and you want to stand out, you need something with your name because Lena's probably going to go under the radar. And I was like, oh, okay. I really liked the idea of a title. So I loved Lady Gaga. I was like, oh, Lady, that's like a title. It's like Duchess, Lady, Miss Lina, yes. So that's how I became Miss Lina. which is, and not a lot of people know that, weirdly enough, not a lot of people know that, so you're one of the first outside of my friendship group to know about that.
EDM Good exclusive right here, how Miss Lina got her name. Slap that
she
on
liked
the title.
titles. Yeah, literally. But yeah, and I just enjoyed finding EDM tracks because I started to like EDM after a while, and I just top-lined all these tracks and people commented and liked, and then that was when I was contacted by Omar Varela and was like, do you want to sing on this song for this label? And I was like, okay, sure. I've only
so
got
it's
top line. I've never...
completely out of the blue, just contacted randomly like, hey, I really like your stuff, do you want to...
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how he came in contact. It might have been I knew someone that they knew, or I can't remember. Sadly, I wish I did, because that's like that probably would have been a cool story to tell. It was all Facebook days as well, so everyone on Facebook knew each other. So like I was good friends with like Nasco on Facebook and Misfit Massacre, who goes by Misfit now. And all those people, which was wonderful. They were really lovely, still really lovely people to talk to and be around. But yeah, so yeah, I was asked by Omar Varela, and then he sent me some lyrics, and I sang them on my £30 mic that was just not good. I really pray like that he didn't have a bad time mixing my vocals, and I don't think we even realised that it was going to get on NCS, because I think he just wanted to work together, and I was like, do you know what, I'm building up my portfolio, I'll say yes to anything, I don't mind, please let me sing for you, I'm so happy. And yeah, it got on NCS, and that was like my first label release, which is... that is insane. I will always...
Complete jump, just from like nothing to then like immediately when you created Miss Lina all the way to NCS. One of the biggest ones. Honestly,
it was probably like a couple months. I was very, very lucky, and I was very grateful to Omar Varela for the opportunity, and I'm grateful to the guys at NCS, wonderful people who was able to introduce me into this community of people, and being like, I'm a lot of people know me for NCS, which I'm happy, like, honestly, like, it's really lovely that you're taking the time to listen to me on such a big influential label. And I was taken from being no one to being the girl that was on NCS that no one knew but now knows is on NCS, and I had all these messages and people following me that just blew up so quickly, and I didn't know how to handle it. I knew that when I started doing Miss Lina and I started releasing on these labels, I knew that I wanted to stay humble. I wanted to stay and appreciate. So when everyone sends me a message and tells me I love your vocals, that is, even today, 10 years later, that is the most heart-filled thing that anyone has ever told me, and I will take that to my grave, because it's even now, it's wonderful. And being able to go from doing covers of random anime songs and singing opera at school to doing this was fantastic, and it just kind of blossomed from there. Met lots of people, got introduced to Exobolt, that became a whole massive thing in itself, which we obviously can talk about.
Definitely.
And even today, where I'm not releasing on massive labels, but I'm kind of I'm at that point now where I'm happy that I've released on these labels, but I'm kind of doing what I want to do, working with the people that I want to work. I developed my career outside of singing, which has kept me busy. So this is more, it went from a hobby to a career, back to a hobby, and I'm more happy over these last couple of years, more happy doing Miss Lina than ever before. So yeah.
What do you really think about the sort of your vocals back then, and like listen back and go, oh my god, they were horrible, or like...
Yes. Yes, all the time. Oh my gosh. I struggled with even to today, I still struggle with my tone and how my vocals sound compared to a lot of other artists. I think in a weird way I sound a bit different, but I don't like how different I sound. I wish I sounded like everyone else. But I've slowly come to accept that and try my best where I can, because I had a bit of an epiphany when I did quit my part-time job to do Miss Lina full-time, which obviously we can talk about, and I had struggled with my vocals. I didn't like anything I sang on, and I was like, I need to go back to the basics. I need to learn tone, and I need to sing covers again to realize why my tone is so off. My tone didn't match the songs, and I couldn't figure out why. So I figured that out. I'm happier now, which is fine. But yeah, no, it's just such a big thing, and I really appreciate it every day.
So you are able to sort of make a career out of Miss Lina earlier on, which... Were you at all expecting that as soon as it did? I'm guessing not, right? But
no, I never. When I started Miss Lina, I never thought that I would gain a follower. Like I never thought it would get to where I am. I never planned to do Miss Lina to make money. It was never. I never wanted to. I never did. So doing all these songs, I built up my portfolio, and then I got to a point where the demand was so great, which is embarrassing to say, that I had to charge for my vocals. And I remember, because Jono from Exobolt helped me with my sheet for my commissions that I promoted on Twitter X, and I remember I charged I think it was £60 for a full feature. And I would look back, I'm like, oh my God, my baby sheet from when I first started. And I had no commissions, no one commissioned me. Everyone was like, why are you charging? I can just get this for you for free. And I'm like, yeah, no, absolutely. I did a lot of I don't like calling it pro bono, but I did a lot of favors for people, and I still do, because I don't mind. It's at the end of the day, it's fun. But I liked the idea of being able to build a portfolio and learn business management from doing Miss Lina. I gained so many skills from doing Miss Lina. I do recommend, if anyone wants to get into singing and wants to pursue doing commissions, if they ever want to do that, you can learn business management. It's brilliant. But I never thought that. Yeah, or a college degree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All you need
or experience.
is just exactly. You just need to become a vocalist. That's how we roll.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I didn't expect that I would be able to make a career out of it. After COVID was when, thankfully, my parents, I have the most supportive parents when it comes to my singing. My father is such a big music listener, especially for the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and introduced me to a lot of music I love nowadays. He was very in support of me doing this, which was lovely. So I remember being in lockdown. I worked in retail for many years, and I didn't like working in retail. Respect to those who work in retail, I did not like it. I worked at a greeting card shop, and I said I was furloughed during lockdown for however many months we were all away for. I said, do you know what? I'm going to go back to work, and if I don't like it, the shift I'm on, if I hate it, I'm going to quit, and I'm going to pursue Miss Lina full time, because I made enough that matched what I made at my job. And I was like, oh, okay. It was a bit unstable, but it still worked. And I went back to my job after COVID, after lockdown, and I had one of the best shifts ever. And I said, I'm going to quit. So I did. I quit, and I told my parents. I pitched to my parents that I had to show, I make this money now. Can I do this full time? Can I develop this? And they're like, you need a job. And I'm like, this is going to be my job. And they're like, okay. So I did that for 6 months. And then admittedly, I fell out of love with Miss Lina. I didn't like doing it anymore. I was like, I don't like doing this as a career. I had an epiphany. I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to build a career outside of Miss Lina, and I want Miss Lina to go back to a hobby. So I did that. I went back to retail, and I worked hard on Exobolt, building up my portfolio with Exobolt and my experience, and I managed to get a job. Outside of everything, I work in a very different job to retail. I do appreciate that. And now Miss Lina can be a hobby, and I'm more in love with doing it than ever.
I'm guessing doing it as more as a hobby now takes the pressure off of you having to constantly do stuff, where in actual fact you can sort of pick the projects that you would like to work on instead of who would get you the most amount of money.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, nowadays, within the last, say, 3-4 years, when I got my full-time job, that's my primary income. And then Miss Lina, I had to close commissions, and they are still technically closed, although they might come back very soon. I'm working behind the scenes on a lot of tweaking just to make sure I can come back and do them with a good turnaround, because my turnaround's very high at the moment. But I do pick and choose who I work with now, which I don't like, because I want to give people a chance to work with me. But I probably work with one producer every 4 to 6 months now, because that's all I can handle. Especially moving, I couldn't do anything. But it also gives me the chance to do a lot more projects. Like I do work for a few idol groups behind the scenes now, and I do a lot of graphic design for some groups just as another hobby. So I'm trying to keep my creative outlets alive outside of the EDM universe, just to see because they're very different, very, very different communities. I like being able to pour my creative freedom into both, and not be burnt out from one or the other. Yeah.
So going back to sort of when you started, is there anything you would change back when you first started Miss Lina compared to sort of what you're doing now? Is there anything that, you know, you sort of look back and go, oh, I probably wouldn't do that again?
I probably wouldn't get get too involved in drama in the scene back then. Drama happened here, there, and everywhere, and I would try and just stay out of that. I was young, I was involved, I shouldn't have been. I kind of just did it because I was gaining a bit of a following. A lot of people would contact me here and there and add me on Facebook and interact with my posts, and I thought, like, I was like, oh my god, everyone loves me, I'm just gonna try and radiate popular energy, and I just hated that. I was like, that's not me. That is definitely not who I am. I became friends with people. I was like, why I wanted to have a community of people that actually liked what they did, and they weren't manufacturing music just because they could. They did it because they loved it. Probably that. I do wish that I knew more about the scene before I'd entered it, because I was kind of thrown in. I had no idea. I didn't know who was good, who wasn't. I didn't understand like why some people didn't like someone else, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I kind of wish I knew a bit more about the community. Although I love it now. Everyone, like, I even loved it back then, to be fair. Everyone is just everyone has their groups, everyone knows what they want to do, everyone is so developed than they used to be, not like, because obviously technology is like evolving. I also kind of wish that I didn't do commissions so early on. I kind of wish I waited a bit more and developed my sound a bit more. But also I kind of wish I knew more behind the scenes. There's a lot of things I wish, but I wouldn't change everything. I wouldn't change everything that happened at all. You learn when you get thrown into a new community and you're learning a new skill and you're doing this, that, and the other. You're gonna make mistakes, and you're gonna work with people that you probably shouldn't have worked with. You're gonna work with people that later on you shouldn't have worked with. You're gonna do this, that, and the other, and then you learn from it and you move on and you become better, and you become this sort of voice for a lot of people that are starting. You can kind of guide them without pressure into a better time, so they're not thrown into the same mistakes that you were thrown into. And no, I always love meeting vocalists and just being like, oh, I did this for a while, you can do this if you want. You don't have to, but you do whatever you want, because, you know, it's fun. Singing is like, there's no rules to it. You just do it, you just sing, and then you have fun, and that's kind of like that.
Yeah. So how did you then develop yourself as an artist, then going from sort of working early on and getting onto NCS? Because you've worked with quite a few people, like you said earlier, Rob Gasser, you've worked with Chime, which is another very big one. Chime back in the day as well. Sort of, Was it another thing where you sort of just kept growing and kept on wanting to take the opportunities that were given to you?
So quite early on, when I got onto NCS, I had like this mental checklist of things I wanted to do during my career, quote unquote career, so to speak. And I had a list of people I wanted to work with, and I had a list of labels I wanted to get on, and I had a list of things I wanted to write about, even down to the small, minute detail. And fortunately, I found I was ticking off more of that list very quickly, and I didn't like that. I am always so grateful for the opportunity of getting onto NCS, Disciple, Exobolt, being able to work with people like Chime, like Rob. They were points on my list for so long that got ticked off so quickly, and I really wish I took a step back and could have spread that out a little bit more, because it got to a point where the things that I had on my checklist were all ticked off, and I was like, what am I supposed to do now? These are all fantastic goals that I set myself that I've hit quite quickly, because I was just grateful. I had a lot of word of mouth praise, which very, very grateful to everyone. So people I'd work with would talk to other people, and they'll be like, oh, I worked with so and so, they did this, that and the other, and then they would contact me. I'm like, oh, that's amazing, thank you so much, like, let's work together. And I think a lot of producers I worked with really liked that I tuned my own vocals and did a lot of things behind the scenes, so they didn't have to like worry about tuning or timing. I did that myself. So a lot of skills I developed I could bring quite quickly, and I think the word of mouth went through everyone, and I unfortunately wasn't able to work with everyone I wanted to, just due to time constraints, things here and there. But yeah, I do wish that there are still loads of goals on my list. There are also goals I've taken off, just because either I'm realistic or I just don't feel the need. I don't want to do that, or just things here and there. But yeah, that's that really.
So you just sort of like just said yes to the opportunities that sort of were given to you, and you're quite lucky that people said, oh yeah, she's a great vocalist, and then they came to you wanting to have you featured on a track, and then it sort of just kept going from there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of how I grew, really. It was nice when I got onto these labels. Obviously, the communities would then come over to my channel and see me that way, and then see, oh, she does this as well. This is cool. And then the communities of other artists would come over, and then I would develop like a little community that would go over to them, and it was kind of just like communities here and there, all over the place. And I remember release days being so exciting, because when a track is released, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. You don't know if people are going to love it, if they're going to hate it. I did have that way when I released with Chime, on Chime's EP on Disciple. That was a massive goal that I was that was probably my most unrealistic goal, because I don't hear of many vocalists getting onto Disciple because of the amount of heavy music that is on there. Vocalists don't really slot in, so I was very grateful there. Also being on the same EP as Virus Syndicate, that was not on my bingo list. It's Virus Syndicate. Yeah, that was so fantastic. But I was worried about that song because it was so that was kind of where I took a lot of my voice acting. Yeah, it was very like high pitched and cutesy, and it's going on Disciple. What? That's so weird. So I was really worried that people weren't gonna like it.
British vocals with like colour bass.
Yeah, I was worried, but no, people liked it because it was different and it was Chime. Like pretty much everyone loves what Chime does, because he's just so good at production. So I was worried about that. I'm always worried about how songs are going to be perceived, because when you're on a compilation like Exobolt, for example, you get those tier lists of people ranking every song and putting them in a tier list and seeing what's good. And I'm always worried that my vocals aren't good for this. Like I'm worried that I've messed up, and I'm thinking, I've gone through A&R like millions of times. Like if they didn't like it, they would let me know. So it's kind of like appeasing to the crowd and worrying about the crowd, but then thinking I need to take a step back and realize I've been on some art, I've been on some songs. I don't know many people in my life that can say I've been on a piece of music that is on the internet forever. So sometimes I forget and need to take a step back and think this isn't something abnormal that I do. This is not a normal thing that many people do, especially in my case. So I just need to take a step back, think of it plainly, and think I'm on music. This is so cool. And that's kind of how my mind goes nowadays. Like I'm in that mindset. It's like I'm creating something amazing with someone else who is also creating something amazing, and let's do it and let's see. Who cares about numbers? Who cares about what people say?
Yeah,
just
it's
do
like
it.
a shared appreciation of each other's art and just making something because you want to make something, not to try and
that's
appease to an
exactly
audience.
what I would say about me and Snapski, which I can send to you after this. Like, it's such a fun song. We did it just because we can.
Please do.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. It's such a fun song to do. But I that's why like I've enjoyed working with bigger artists, but I've also enjoyed working with smaller artists as well, because like I know for a fact that like the numbers are going to be different, but at the end of the day, I've never cared about numbers. I like the surprise. I will always be surprised if a song would reach 1,000 plays on Spotify. Always, even 10 years later, and doing this for so long and having like a couple of million streams here and there, like I still get surprised, because it's like people are actually taking the time to listen to this. Who cares about numbers? Who cares about making money? It's fun and it's art, and I want to always go back to the fact that I've never done this for money. I've never done this for any type of fame or numbers. I just enjoy the fact. That's why I really like that there are quite a few people that don't know the niche songs I've worked on, because it's like I can show you these are so fun. Go support the other people that have been on this. It's so good. But that's kind of where I've always been, really, which is probably best for me and my mental health.
Yeah. All right, I wanna sort of take this a different direction as well.
Sure.
And I did say that there would be an interesting discussion to be had with this question before we started recording.
Yeah.
You have obviously worked with a lot of people and done very unique styles of yourself, but also styles of other people. What I want to know is, have there been any moments or like any times where you've wanted to create your own songs and have a dedicated, like, your own song as opposed to you featuring on someone else?
Oh, 100%. I've written songs for years. The problem with me is if it's my first song, I need to be a perfectionist with it. And if something's not working out, I kind of don't work on it. However, I have been working on a single for probably about 5 years. I'm trying.
My God.
I'm getting to that point where I'm actually enlisting people to help me finish this song, because I can't finish it. I keep going back. I had a production done by my friend back in the day, Get Six. We worked on this together, and I was like, I need this. This is like my song. And he was like, absolutely. Like, he did production for me. I did vocals for him. It was kind of like our little verbal contract. And I wrote a really catchy chorus. I love the chorus so much I could never write anything, and I started to, over the last couple of years, kind of develop it a bit more, but I'm actually starting to enlist a few people just to help me finish it with fresh ears. I've gone back to the song so many times and I just can't hear anything different, and I need someone with fresh ears to help me finish a few melodies. So that's kind of on my list for this year as well. I was hoping to get it done by September, which is my 10th anniversary. I don't think that will happen. If it does, I mean, we've got 8 months. I could do it, but I'm not sure. So I need to go back through. I need to get my budget back for this whole thing, because it's going to be a hefty budget, which I'm so excited for. And then I need to go back and finish it. But it will be done. I will get that out eventually. It will be done.
Also, doesn't help that you are a perfectionist and that you need everything to be as good as it possibly can, which is in some parts, nice that you have you want this piece of art to be so good, but on the other hand, it takes 5 years to release the song.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, I know. If it's for someone else, I can put that aside and just do it. like the way I want to do it. When it comes to my own stuff, I feel like I can never do it. It's just strange. Like I do a lot of videos, graphics for other people's channels, and I really enjoy it. And I have so much creativity, but when it comes to my own channel, I can't. I blank and I struggle. So I just need to push past that, enlist some help, because it's always good to ask for help and then just get that done. And first need to get that budget back together, and then I'll do that. So yeah, keep an eye out.
Definitely, I will be watching, because we need the first Miss Lina single. It will be so fire when it actually happens as well. Just to hear sort of something from yourself rather than from other people, and sort of see, because you've said you do make your own songs and you do songwriting, so I want to hear sort of what kind of songwriting you do, and sort of what style you tend to gravitate towards when you want to make something on your own instead of with someone else.
Oh yeah, I've always liked the idea of creating pop songs, but I don't like the pop sound. So I wanted to mix. So the idea is mixing pop and electronic, a bit of complextra, a bit of just general electronic sound. That's kind of what I'm going for. Unfortunately, the instrumental is very outdated, so I do need to have it redone, I do have someone I'm in contact with to do that, so that's fine. I have someone ready that can help me with that. So I just need to do it. Hopefully this is the motivation, speaking about it, that I can actually hold myself accountable and do it. So I think I'm going to do it.
Yeah, if you don't do it, I'm going to be spamming this episode like every single day until you get it done. That's
you said you do it, and now you won't do it. Do it.
You're lying to us.
Oh, no, I need to do it. I need to get in that headspace. I need to sit down for a few days and do it. And I need to do that.
I want to now move on to your work with Exobolt, because it's been mentioned multiple times. Great label. You do work with them on a regular basis and help them out with stuff. How did you sort of get in that community and get involved with doing stuff with them?
Yeah, so I joined Exobolt on their 03 compilation back in 2017. I featured on a song with Misfit Massacre back in the day, and that was really fun because I was like, oh my god, I'm on a compilation, this is so cool. And then I ended up kind of skipping the 4th compilation. I don't know, I can't remember why. And then from the 5th one onwards, I've been on every compilation since. And I just joined that. I remember meeting Jono for the first time, and he always tells me, which is really sweet, he was like, I joined a call. I don't know if it was a call in Sekai's channel, or if it was in like an Exobolt channel. And I remember him telling me, he was like, I want to be friends with this person. So then we became friends, and then we became really close friends over the years, which is really nice. And I slowly just became a part of that community, which was really nice. And then eventually I was brought on as an in-house vocalist, which I am to this day. And also ever since 2020 something, it's on my LinkedIn, I can't remember, 2021 I've been, or 2023, I can't remember, I have to look on my LinkedIn. I've been a part of their management team, so I've been just kind of been a bit of their secretary, doing things behind the scenes, helping manage releases and such. So I've been doing that, so it's kind of a bit of a jump, but I think it all stems from my good friendship with Jono, and how he ran the label, and how like he liked my singing, which I'm really grateful for, and how I can help out, because back then a lot of vocalists didn't work on Exobolt regularly, so I was happy to help out because I was friends with Jono. I wanted to help out with his label. He actually helped me out with Miss Lina, with my commissions and my graphics, so we kind of had, again, a bit more of a verbal contract where we were friends and we did favors for each other. So, and yeah, now Exobolt's become this this staple of the community. Like a lot of people know it, which I'm always so proud of his progress with the label, and how he stuck to his guns, and how he's brought on a team of wonderful people that we all really enjoy working with and listening to, and bringing some artists from the underground and seeing them turn into such amazing people. So I like to use the example of Skybreak. So Skybreak was quite a smaller producer on Exobolt, grew with Exobolt, and how is such a massive artist. I also like using the example of Electric Dad. Electric Dad, we had not heard of Electric Dad before, and it was like finding a diamond in the rough. And his music is so fantastic and so different. And we've had him on the label a few times and sent us demos, and it's just wow, just fantastic. So it's really nice seeing all these artists go from small artists just to big mainstream artists. And I love being a part of that. Even though I just do vocals here and there everywhere, having a voice in A&R and being able to speak from my own perspective rather than a production perspective is quite nice as well. So no, love those guys, wonderful.
And now you also get to do IRL meetings with Jono about Exobolt. You just while you're sitting dinner, what could we do next with Exobolt?
Yeah, literally, like he has meetings every week, and his desk is behind me. I can just hear him in meetings, and I'm taking a bit of a break at the moment just for a little while, but I can hear him in his meetings and planning all of that. We've got such an operation going, it's really nice. But no, it is really good. When we first met back in 2022 for the first time, it was so strange because I never met many people offline, and it wasn't until then onwards that I started to meet a lot of people from Exobolt and such, and it was just so weird just seeing someone in real life from someone you've known online for so many years. And no, the meetups were great. They have been so wonderful, and being able to, you kind of become a bit closer to people that way, being able to, because it's different speaking online than it is speaking in person. So no, I'm always grateful for Jono. We've been together for 3 years now, and it's just seeing his dedication to the label and how passionate he is about the music scene is wonderful, honestly.
Okay, we are getting to the end of the episode now.
Oh my
always
gosh,
goes
time
by
has
so
flown
quickly.
by. It does.
My recording software says 53 minutes, so
Wow.
it's probably a bit less than that because we took 2 minutes getting started, but it always goes by very quickly. Everyone always says, like, when I go, oh yeah, it's nearly at the end of the episode, they go, oh my god, like it goes by so quickly when you're just talking about music.
It does, especially with a great host as well. Oh my goodness.
Oh, get out. Get out. No, what I wanted to know was, back to Miss Lina now. You know, we've been talking about the past for so much. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. What is in store for the future of Miss Lina? What do we have to look forward to in terms of your artistry and in terms of stuff that you're working on right now? Obviously, you said about the single, which is going to come out in September, obviously. But is there any... hopefully. But is there anything else that we can look forward to in terms of you as an artist, and maybe you're working on some other stuff? Depends what you can say as well. But what do we have to look forward to? So on one side, which is obviously the Miss Lina side, I am working with a few people. I can't say much more than that, unfortunately, but I'm working with a few people on a few songs that may come out sooner or later, not sure yet, but those are in progress, which is quite nice. Still keeping Miss Lina alive in that sense. As I mentioned, commissions will most likely be open in the future, just a bit limited, but my Twitter will know all about that, so I will let everyone know about that. I've had a few people in contact with me about that already, so that's quite nice to have people already interested, because it's been a while. It's been like 2 years or so. On the other side, I'm still covering songs just to kind of keep that alive with my tone and my training, because I train all the time when it comes to singing. So I've got a few different songs that I'm working on, just covers, like EDM covers, which I want to get back into, a few game covers, a few K-pop covers, so they're going to be in rotation, as well as just kind of going back through my
my discography and seeing what hasn't been uploaded and me just quickly uploading it just to get that, on my channel, just to make sure it's there and it's alive. That's kind of that. Single as well. I do want to sit down and probably have a discussion with some of the people that I'm going to contact and have contacted about working on it with me, and then going through all of that. And I also want to make a conscious effort to be more in the community and to work with more people that I haven't worked with before. Just give a few people a chance, and I like doing that with the Exobolt compilation. So I recently I've worked with a few people on some comps over the past couple of years that have never worked with Vocalists or have never worked with me. So I always try and work with different people where I can for the first time, because it's really nice being able to discuss things with new people and work with new people. So I recently, on the last Exobolt comp, I worked with Altered Soul on 012, and oh my goodness, fantastic person to talk to, fantastic producer, honestly one that's on the rise. I really recommend that everyone check out Altered Soul, because fantastic, oh my goodness, just stunning production. But I think my goal is for the next, if there is a next comp, I don't know, no one knows, not sure, and the next album or whatever comes out from Exobolt that I'm featured on is someone new, because I love working with new people. So yeah,
can't wait. We are eating good is what I take from that. We are eating fantastically.
It's fun.
Yeah, definitely. So since Oswald isn't here, Oswald would usually ask this question, but when he isn't here, I usually ask the question of, when we get to the episode, what sort of songs right now, completely off topic from Miss Lina and everything, what are the current songs which you've been loving and that you've been listening to? What current stuff have you been sort of replaying over and over? Your favorite songs, favorite artists? What currently do you love in terms of music and in terms of EDM?
Oh, I do love this question. So going on a complete 180, I really like listening to a lot of K-pop songs at the moment, like a lot of EXO, Le Seraphim, IVE, etc., because a lot of their songs are taking EDM influences, and it's kind of keeping my love for EDM alive that way, because it's another avenue of music, and I really enjoy that. On a non-EDM note, I'm a big metalhead. Weirdly enough, you wouldn't expect it from the things that I sing. I love metal. I'm a big fan of metalcore and a lot of the new age metal bands. Like, my favorite band ever is Parkway Drive. We spoke earlier, but that's who I went to see in London a few months ago.
I see.
Yeah. But EDM wise, what am I listening to at the moment on EDM? Niviro, Kuro, I'm just going through my list. A lot of Jim Yosef at the moment. I'm listening to Julian Gray, Skybreak's new album. Oh my god, fantastic. I really like that. It's so good. Niptane, I'm really liking at the moment, and Skella does a lot of hard wave stuff, which is absolutely fantastic music, honestly. I'm also going back to the 80s. Love Pet Shop Boys, for example. I'm a big fan of them. That's kind of that, really.
Band-Aid
just a lot.
Well, we were talking.
I have a diverse music taste, to be honest.
I love how many people go, we asked this question to, and they always go, so I don't listen to any of EDM stuff. Like, I listen to a lot of jazz or a lot of rock or a lot of old
I
stuff.
do more of that, yeah. EDM is not on my radar a lot. It's only recently, because I've been listening to Exobolt other half, Alex, who's not with the label anymore, sadly. He has a fantastic playlist that is just full of EDM, and I'm like, oh my god, I love this. So I've been picking bits and pieces from his playlist when he played them in the car a few months ago, which was fun. But no, my biggest genres that I listen to at the moment is metalcore and K-pop, really. Just love the diverse sound.
I love that. So now we have gotten to the end of the episode, but before we go, I give this time at the end of every episode to the artist that is featured to shout out anything, anyone, this is your time to say whatever you want to say now at the end of the episode. If you want to shout out anything, go ahead.
Sure. So if you want to find me on YouTube, it'll probably be in the description.
Yes.
But it's at Miss Lina Official. I post mostly on there. I don't really post on SoundCloud. So if you want to follow me on there, I post a lot of diverse things. Also in my playlists, I do a lot of idol stuff. So if you want to listen to me sing, not in English, in Japanese, in Korean, go for it. You're welcome to. I want to shout out Exobolt for the amazing opportunity of being able to work with them. For everyone involved in Exobolt, you're fantastic. Shout out to all my collab partners in the past and in the future. You know who you are. And honestly, shout out to you, Henry, and your channel, because I really enjoyed. You're so entertaining. Your co-host is so entertaining, and all your artists that you've had on are so entertaining. So I'm gonna be listening every time you post.
I think it's more of a shout out to everyone that comes on, including you, for being just amazing people and being such a pleasure to talk to every single time.
You've been a pleasure too. It's been wonderful getting to know you, honestly.
You. Well, that does conclude this episode. Once again, my name is Henry, also known as Hank Ray. Oswald still isn't here, unfortunately. Thank you so much, Miss Lina, for joining us on the episode. It has been an absolute blast.
Thank you.
And we will see you in the next one.